Hi, I'm Matt and I'm a teacher. This is my third video now, and this one is on mixed ability teaching. Before I talk about mixed ability teaching and why we're going to do mixed ability teaching in secondary year 7 and 8 maths, I just wanted to go over a couple of the comments from my last video, which was on marking. Firstly, I agree with Jenny Wilson, who said that it's quite difficult to sustain teaching marking and a social life. Stress-free teacher said that SLT need to recognise this. I Am Will agreed that we need a dedicated time for lessons, in lessons, so that kids can respond to feedback. Mr. Rogers said honest and inspiring. Thanks very much. And Vinyeka Zocek on YouTube talked about how maybe we could get online software to mark work at home and intertwine that with homework, but that sort of flipped learning is probably another topic entirely, so we'll talk about that probably another time. And actually, one other thing that I thought I'd bring up, because excuse me, I talked about this in my first video. Just a couple of weeks ago, David Cameron said that he wanted all schools to be given a chance to convert to benefit from the freedom of academies. And I know I said I didn't want to get too political, but well, actually he also said teachers, not bureaucrats, should decide how best to educate our children, which seems contradictory to the fact they want to bring in academies. And he also said that 3,000 good or outstanding schools have already made the decision to become academies. No, they haven't. It's been forced upon them, and there's still no decent evidence out there to say that they are successful. So anyway, that's happened. Right, so mixed ability teaching. Like I say, we're going to do it. I mean, there's an awful lot of maths changes now, and I'm sort of responding to those changes. And in Norfolk there's a maths hub of teachers, and someone there said, look, there's all these things going on anyway, why not give it a go? So I had a look at the evidence, and to me it seems like, yeah, it's about time really. If I could just give you a bit more evidence, or just some anecdotes. Sutton Trust and the Education Endowment Foundation did a teaching and learning toolkit in 2013. A lot of people have read it, and it's really, really interesting. There have been 2 or more meta-analyses on ability teaching, and so lots of evidence, and it shows that ability teaching can actually affect how much a pupil will learn in a year by 1 month, negative a month. So yeah, it can impair the progress that they make, perhaps if they're set. So that seems to suggest that mixed ability teaching is a good thing. Interestingly, Ofsted Chief Sir Michael Wilshaw said in, I think it was 2001, he referred to the curse of mixed ability classes without mixed ability teaching. So that's something I've also got to bear in mind. It seems, you know, from the Sutton Trust, it seems from lots of forums that mixed ability teaching is good, but, and a few other people have said this to me as well, just in passing, you need to have the teachers to be able to do it, and the tools and the resources. So if anyone's thinking about doing it, please let me know how successful it's been. Based on a couple of other heads of maths in Norfolk, they say it's worked really, really well, but actually it's the parents who don't think it works out well. So that's another thing that you've really got to combat. If you've got a high achiever and they're put in the same class as someone who's low attaining in maths or whatever subject, maybe it can be difficult to convince a parent that it's a good idea. And actually, it's because of that really that we're going to start out like this. In year 7, we're going to have all of our classes mixed together. And in year 8, we're going to skim off, if you like, the highest attainers and the lowest attainers. So we'll have an accelerated group and a supported group, and then mix the 2 or 3 classes up in the middle. So we've got 2 cohorts to compare against, which should be quite interesting, and when I get evidence of them working or not working, I'll feed them back to you. But that's what we're going to do, and I think it's about time that a lot of teachers or a lot of departments, or a lot of schools tried it, or try it, sorry. I mean, a lot of departments do it already, and primary schools, so many primary schools do it, and yet in secondary school they just seem to stop. There's this growing influence of a growth mindset, where it's good to sort of challenge yourself. And, well, do pupils really have the opportunity to challenge themselves if they are in set classes? Maybe. I guess it depends on the teacher. But given the anecdotal evidence from primary schools and the evidence and the forums that are out there, I think the possible drawbacks get massively overshadowed by the potential benefits. I can just imagine some of my lower attainers being finally in a class where they can hear higher attainers use more complicated vocabulary, or justify what they've done using complex mathematics. They don't usually have that opportunity, and they can go through all of secondary school without hearing it. So I really want to give them that opportunity. We'll see if it works. I hope it does. And that's it. I've talked a lot in previous videos. I think if I can cut it down to less than 7 minutes, that's an achievement. And yeah, I fancy some cake, so I'm going to stop now. But yeah, next week we're going to talk about, I should probably have planned this. Hang on. Next week we're going to talk about homework. There's a lot of stuff on Twitter about homework, good and bad homework. Loads of resources out there that I wanted to share with you. So yeah, please, any comments on my Twitter feed at I'm a Teacher 15, or on my YouTube, please just comment and I'll share those with you next time I do a video. Thanks very much.